Welcome along to number 28 of this series of Pixiecasts, and I am in America, over on the West Coast in Los Angeles, and I am talking to a very good friend of the groups. It is, of course, Hector. Hector, hi, how are you?
Hey, Andrew.
Good to see
I'm
you.
good.
Good
Same
to
here.
speak to you as well after all these years of just chatting.
I know.
Really nice to spend some time with you and to see you as well. So,
right. I've been enjoying these Pixiecast, so.
Oh, you're very kind.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Very good.
Yeah, well,
Very
I'm enjoying.
Well done.
I'm enjoying doing them. So yeah, it's been really nice, and it's been better received than I imagined it would. I thought maybe I'll do like half a dozen, something like that, and then it will sort of die a bit of a death. But that hasn't happened. So yeah, really delighted about that. So.
Great.
And before we
Good
start,
stuff.
I have to say that's an impressive array of drinks you've got behind you there.
Well, yeah, kind of have to have that around. Dealing with earthquakes and heat and fires. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope none of them got broken in the earthquakes. So
no, remarkably, no.
No?
From what I read up on is that we were very close to the epicenter, and when you're very close to the epicenter, you're not going to get a lot of the rolling. We just actually heard a very loud boom, very loud sound, like if a Mack truck was going, or a big truck, semi truck was rolling by. And then that was it. But yeah, remarkably, nothing fell off. And I did have my children at the time, and they slept through it. So that was the best thing about it.
Oh, okay. So it was during the night then, was it?
Yeah, about 11 p.m., 11:30.
Yeah. And is that quite common where you are?
It is. Yeah, it is. And I think I've just been immune to them now. I'm just like, okay, it's shaking. I know what to do. I have an earthquake prepared kit if the big one does show up. But I've gone through most of my life.
Right. And what did that one register on the Richter scale then?
I believe it was 4.6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think we had one the other day, which measured about 3, which for us is quite severe, really.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We don't really have to worry about things like that. All it does here is rain. We don't
which
get
we
too,
need. Which we need.
Yeah, we don't get too much severe weather, but occasionally, but not like you guys do. So, so you're in LA, which is a very large city. I don't know very much about the geography of LA, so tell me a little bit about the neighborhood that you're in.
Los Angeles is, I don't think it's the atypical city the way it's structured. Mostly big cities start from center, and it's kind of like a grid type of format, but LA is very spread out. So we have a lot of suburbs. And so from downtown on, you go spread out towards the beach, towards the mountains, towards the deserts. And then you have a lot of hillsides. And I'm east of the center of Los Angeles, and it's more hilly, but very nice, very quiet. I live in a town called Monterey Park. So it's very nice. I've lived there for maybe 10 years, 11 years now, but really enjoy it.
So are you LA born and bred?
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Totally, dude.
And the east side, is that Hollywood's on the east side of LA, isn't it? Is that right?
Hollywood is more west.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little more east. Yeah, it's okay. I'm trying to think a city that you may have heard of. Maybe Pasadena.
Oh yeah. I've heard of Pasadena.
I'm close. I'm like 10 miles away from Pasadena, so that's going east of Los Angeles. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And what do you do for a living, Hector?
I work for AT&T, major telecommunications company, and I'm an engineer technician for them. So we help maintain big businesses, cities, even local airports as well. So we maintain their phone lines, their computer lines, everything that they use to communicate with.
So you keep all the important infrastructure going then?
We do, yes.
So if you go down, then LA goes down. Is that right?
Exactly.
And how long have you been doing that then, Hector?
This particular job, I've been, I want to say 10 years now. Wow, but total with the company, I've been with 26 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so old man here.
A long old career. Oh, that's
that's
good. And how's COVID situation affected your work?
It's been okay. We were considered essential workers, so I've been working since I never stopped working. But the companies offered good benefits, some paid time off to deal, either with the kids at school. I mean, kids being home from school.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, they've really helped out a lot. We were given hazard pay, so to speak, because we've been working through a pandemic. So speaking, I haven't had too many cases on the job. I did have personally a family member did pass away from the virus.
Okay.
So we've been trying to deal with that. That just recently happened. But yeah, we're just trying to survive,
Sure. Like the rest of us, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it does seem quite bad at the moment in the States, doesn't it, for you? So turbulent times in the country.
Definitely so. And around the world, I mean, I think I've heard that the UK again has been going up.
Yeah, it's going in the wrong way here.
Yeah. It's going to happen until, more measures are there, and maybe the vaccine will help with that. I'm not sure, but you
still got a job anyway, so that's something to be grateful for. Yeah,
definitely thankful. Good. Yes,
excellent. So let's talk about Pixies then.
Come on, I like this conversation better.
Where did it all begin for you then with Pixies?
Oh, I would think it happened late years of high school. So we're talking about 88, 87, 88, 89.
Yeah.
And I went to school to study communications. And the school I was at, if you were game enough to do it, you were offered a radio spot on the local radio show station. Yeah. So I got into it very excited, and I had been brought up with college radio. So we're talking about groups like REM, Husker Du,
Good choice.
Ramones. Yeah, so I was excited.
I like all the sound of this.
Yeah. And I get to the station, and they're top 40. Top 40 meaning you heard Mariah Carey and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I expected.
Yeah, we have the same sort of thing over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told the advisor I want to play what I felt was college radio, and he said, well, write me up your idea of the show that you would want to have. So I did, and he gave it to me. So I ended up having, as a freshman in college, my own radio show.
Cool.
And funny enough, it was called the Alternative Zone. So that's how bad it was, how different they were. So being that I was my own music director, so back then labels would send you, free stuff, free records, new albums that were coming out. And I had signed up, of course, with 4AD, and they found out, I was having the show. So one day, the Pixies, Surfer Rosa came in, and I'm like, ooh, these guys, I really haven't heard of this band. And, at that time, the scene was hair metal bands, and of the 80s bands that I listened to, they were under, maybe only except for maybe U2 and The Cure, who were still in their primes at that point. A lot of the bands that I listened to earlier were kind of fading away, and I was like, I'm not, the music scene was so. So when I found this album at the radio station, we have a separate listening room, another studio. So where we listen to albums or records that we get. And back then it was all vinyl and some cassette and reel to reel, if you remember those.
Yeah.
Cut and splicing, that was always fun, right? With the razors.
Yeah.
Razors and tape. Yeah. And so I always used to play the music loud, whatever I listened to. So I used to piss everybody off, but I didn't care. So I laid down the needle on the first track, which was Bone Machine. And I'm hearing this snare that's being hit. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds a little off.
Yeah.
And then from then on out, just the whole song just blew my mind. And I heard it like maybe 10 times after that full blast.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love. That was my first experience with Pixies, and I don't think it's ever stopped since.
So there was no loud, quiet, loud. It was just loud.
Loud. I appreciate the loud, quiet later, especially with the second album. They did it quite well with Doolittle, but Surfer Rosa and that first track just really, I never heard anything like that before until then. It was more than just three chords, more than just, going through a minute song.
Yeah.
It just felt different, and it was a good different.
And they've been a constant in your life ever since.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. They've always, even after the breakup, they're always in the background, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of airplay then on your college radio.
Oh, they did. They're along with Throwing Muses, and they're always in the top 5, top 10 on my playlist that I would have a weekly. You know, at the end of the week, here's my top 10.
And what kind of reception did they get from your listeners?
I think my listeners, my core listeners, were all happy with my selections, what I played. So they really enjoyed the Pixies. Not too many got into them as much as I did. I think I've heard from a few people, maybe even yourself, when they first came out or when you first experienced them and you're going to shows. I was going by myself. Okay. I mean, no one really had my taste and really didn't get the Pixies. So until I found this group, which has been a tremendous blessing. But so I was mostly a loner with the Pixies, but there were some that did enjoy them, did enjoy the sound. And then from there, you know, the music changed.
Yeah. And with them sort of coming from the East Coast, Northeast coast of America, if you like, and you being down on the sort of Southwest coast now, was there a sort of a divide in terms of how people look at groups and that around America? Do you think the sort of people in LA, do they take to East Coast bands, or is there anything like that at all?
I think it's fine with music. I think it's open arms, you know, come on, open doors. With music, with sports, it's a little bit different.
Of course.
There is some rivalries, right? As you know, when it comes to sports, no, I would say no. But with music, I think it's more about the scene and the genre. I mean, punk rock, it came from everywhere, from the UK, from New York, from you know, the Midwest. And then with new wave, you know, that came from all over the world. So
sure.
We had the bands like the Cars and Mission of Burma coming from Boston those early years. So yeah, I think it was more acceptable and throughout the States.
So how long did you do your college radio for then?
I was there the full 4 years. I did it. I was also I did that show, and I was also the sports director. So we did I used to do a lot of the sporting events on the radio, broadcast, do the play-by-play, fun stuff, you know.
Yeah. So covering the 3 main sports in America.
Right. As always, the baseball teams. We did the football teams, basketball. Yeah.
So 4 years doing the college radio. So presumably Doolittle had come out still when you were doing the college radio.
Yes, Doolittle was out right in the middle of that.
I played
Bossa Nova came out towards the end.
Okay.
And Trumpet towards the very end. I think I think I was maybe a senior maybe at that time.
Okay.
No, I was already. It was I mean, all their albums came out through my college years, which was amazing.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, all those albums came out. They were all played on my show to death.
So then you left college and the band split up, pretty much.
It's kind of, life changed, right? You move forward. It was strange because I know, I'm not sure if people have said this, but that last tour they did, they were opening up for, not by themselves, but they were opening up for U2.
Okay.
And I saw them because I pretty much gone to every U2 show as well. That's the other band I'm feverish for, but that show was, you can tell they were towards the end. There was no camaraderie on the stage. They just bolted through their 30 to 40 minute set and got out of there. And, you know, most people didn't pay attention to them either. But I was there, I was screaming, and I had fun with people around us, me and my group of friends, like, we just came here to see Pixies, we're out of here.
Yeah.
So, that was a little joke of ours. But it was sad. I was pretty taken aback at that point when they did break up. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know until later on. You read books and you find out, and through information I found, you don't know what was really going on. So.
No, I mean, obviously Charles has never been one for a great deal of sort of banter and that, as we say on stage, has he? So it wasn't always easy to tell what the atmosphere was like in the band. But I do remember sometimes when I saw them, Kim would be trying to sort of interact with the audience and things like that.
Right.
And he would just start playing the next song without, letting her sort of finish what she was chatting to the audience and that about. So clearly there was some friction among them at the time.
Oh yeah, most definitely the clashing of egos, as they say, that was there, and I don't blame Kim for leaving at that point, wanting to go on her own, but she did. So
yeah, well, she's had a good career herself,
definitely
in her own right. So
yeah.
And you could sense her frustration in that as well. So
in
terms of doing her own thing within the band and writing songs and singing songs and what have you. So so of all the Pixies albums, then have you got a favourite? Are you do you favour before the break or since they've reformed?
I do have a favorite, and I don't think it'll ever change, even though I find the new stuff pretty remarkable. But Surfer Rosa's my main one. Even wearing my favorite shirt that I got. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. Well, I can see Pixies. That's all I can see.
Okay, well, the girl's up there somewhere, and
okay, got you.
Given to my good friend Kimball, so I appreciate the gift.
Yeah,
this is one of my favorite Pixie shirts. But yeah, that's the album that I have the album, CD, cassette of. So yeah.
Okay, you got the full collection.
Yes.
And a favorite Pixies track then across their whole catalog?
Whole catalog, and I know maybe one person that said that. Maybe it's even yours. I'm not, if I do remember, but I could be wrong. Bone Machine would be the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. I'll just refer to my.
Do that. I want to hear if that's coming. I'll take some whiskey while you do that.
It is Jeff Cameron Gray, as he likes to be known. Jeff chose Bone Machine.
Okay. Good man.
So my very first Pixiecast with Pixie White, I predicted that was going to be her favorite actually, but she chose Hang Wire. So so Bone Machine it is. Right, I can put it straight into my spreadsheet now.
There you go.
So there we go. It's in there. You can't change your mind now. Bone Machine it
darn.
is. So Frank Black went off on his own to do his solo career, and Kim went off to concentrate with Breeders. Of course, they'd already previously recorded anyway. But are you a fan of Frank's solo career, Charles' solo career?
At the time, I did hear his first solo, and then Teenager, and after that, I got more consumed into more the UK sound, the Manchester sound that came out.
Okay.
The shoegaze bands that came out, then grunge, of course. So I kind of, like I said, they've always been in the background for me.
Okay.
So those two initial albums I did hear and I did enjoy. I did like that he tried to sound different than the Pixies. I think that's what he was aiming for. And I think he succeeded in probably his best writing too at that point. Because Teenager of the Year has so many songs and they're all very well written, and I just enjoyed that part of it. But then after that, the Catholics I didn't much get into, never saw them. Never saw Frank Black live either, unfortunately. But it wasn't until we started the podcast that I got more appreciation of his later stuff. And as the years go by, you seem to dissect music more and really look into music, and I think that's what's happening with me. So more of his later stuff I am enjoying and appreciating. So yeah.
So do you have a favorite from his solo career? Favorite track?
I know I had it written down because my memory is going away so badly. But let's see, what did I write? Oh, it's actually very later in his career. I Sent Away on Svn Fngrs.
I Sent Away.
I Sent Away, yes.
Okay.
Very bluesy, very rock. And then he does that talking, singing type of thing.
Yeah.
He's not really singing, he's talking through the songs. So if you haven't heard it, take a listen. I like it.
I will.
So that's that's my favorite from the solo. Although, of course, I could have said Headache and Los Angeles because those were but I like to call those Played Out because they've been played so many times. But like I mentioned, those two first albums are pretty good.
Yeah, they are certainly. But you didn't see him solo then, or with the Catholics? No,
and he played a lot in Los Angeles in the '90s, so I do kick myself for that. I think he was living here at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't get to see him.
Does he live in LA now? I know Joey does, doesn't he? But...
Joey does. Paz does.
Yeah.
I think he has homes here and back in Boston. So I don't think he's here now.
Okay.
And I think it's because of the virus, the pandemic. I think he's back east at the moment. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call him tomorrow and find out though for you.
Okay. Ask him to come on my show.
There you go.
And what about Dave? Where does Dave live?
I would assume back east.
Okay.
I would assume back east still too. But he was in LA for a while as well.
Okay.
So he could actually still be here too. Because I think downtime with the Pixies, he was a magician.
Yeah,
so he did a lot of magic shows back here at the famous Magic Castle.
Yeah, I think it was Kurt Carlson was saying that when he went to see Frank Black, I think either solo or with the Catholics, that Dave Lovering was like the support act on some occasions doing his magic. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
you got to see that. That's great. I never got to see it, but so I want to assume he's still in LA.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'll look him up.
You do that. You do that. Tell him that you've been on my podcast.
There you go. And I'll get him on.
Yeah. So we've covered his solo career, and you've picked a track for me. You've got your T-shirt on there. Are you a big Pixies T-shirt buyer?
I am. I think at any show I do buy T-shirts when I do go to shows.
Yeah.
I like to buy the ones with the concert dates on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like, I went to that concert or what of it, so I'm going to wear the T-shirt. But yeah, and I've been enjoying the group's T-shirts. Amazing talent we have in our group, including yourself. But we have musicians.
I'm certainly not an artist. I couldn't do a T-shirt.
Neither am I. But I think we're right. I think we're doing good. This is our stuff right here. This is what we
I can talk. Good. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm no artist, but I'm glad we have very talented people in the group to produce those things. And that's always what I wanted from the group. I mean, when I began with the group, I think maybe we were at 300 or so.
Okay.
And so I was from the very beginning.
Over 6,000 now.
Yeah, incredibly. But I always wanted a T-shirt for the group, and when that happened, I was pretty ecstatic. So I do have several.
So you were one of the early ones then, because I know when I spoke to Pixie, she said she couldn't believe it when they got to 200 membership. Yeah. So if you were around about 300, you were in there pretty early. So
yeah, I was. It was great. Again, I think it was I think how most people found it, like a suggested group, and I was like, wow, Pixies. Who can that be? I mean, who could be running a group like that? They're my group. They're nobody else's group, right? I'm the only one that likes them. And so when I found that, I was like, wow, this is, and for it to become what it is now, where it's a family and genuine good people. I mean, that's just icing on the cake. And I guess in a way what I expected. I mean, we are good people. Pixies does have a great set of fans. So
yeah, it really does. It really does, actually. And I've said this several times. This is why I wanted to do this, obviously, because we're not all able to get together at the moment and share gigs and that with each other and travel around. So I just thought there was a little way of keeping us all connected with each other around the world. So yeah,
great idea.
But it has certainly reaffirmed my belief about the lovely people as well in this group as well, or both groups. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I don't know if you remember, but I'll always remember this about the group. And I think it was I'd like to again thank Jenny Santiago when this happened. I was having some tough times personally, and the group did a GoFundMe thing for me, and it was and the amount of money that at that time that they generated for me helped me move forward in my life at that point, and it was truly a blessing. I mean, people that I've never met, people that only saw me on the internet wanted to help, and that was genuine kindness to me. And so I'll always remember that about the group, and I'll never forget it. So just wanted to share that with you.
No, I do remember that. That was a lovely gesture by many people towards you. Certainly.
Pretty amazing.
So how many times have you seen the band live then? Do you keep a tally?
I wish I did, but I don't. If you would ask me about U2, I would tell you, yeah, I've seen them 25 times or whatever.
Okay.
But Pixies, Pixies.
Is it so many times that you forget now?
Yeah, because I think it's over 10. It's
Okay.
definitely over 10.
Right.
Definitely more so the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them when they came back in 2004. I went to the 2 sold out shows they had, and I went by myself, of course.
Okay.
So, damn it, Dusty and Kimbo, I didn't know them then, but
okay.
I went to those shows by myself, and then I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna come back. Maybe they got the itch because they did these touring, this huge tour of it. But so they didn't, and then I lost track of them again.
Okay.
And I was still in my own world, getting married, having kids.
Yeah.
Life happens. And sadly, I didn't even know that Indie City had came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Until afterwards, until I think when I heard Kim left again, that's when it registered for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I joined the group, it was right around Head Carrier coming out, so it was really good timing by Pixie Mom to do that. I think that's why she did it. I remember her saying something about that. So then from then on out, I was on it. I was back on the track.
Yeah.
So to speak. Mm-hmm.
So when they come over and play in LA, what sort of size venues do they play? I mean, obviously it depends if it's indoors or outdoors, but
yeah. I mean, like this, 2 years ago now, they did the festival, and that was a huge outdoor thing at the Rose Bowl. It's a 100,000 seat stadium.
Oh yeah. I know the Rose Bowl.
So they did that, but maybe small to medium. I mean, the first time I met Dusty and Kimbo, it was at the Fox Theater in a even eastern city of mine, farther away from me, more east of me, in Pomona, and that was like a renovated movie theater. So you're talking about maybe 500, 600 people.
Okay.
They've played the House of Blues, so maybe small to medium sized venues they would play over the years.
Yeah, sort of similar to here. Mm-hmm. Unless, of course, they're supporting a huge band like U2, I guess. So,
right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So presumably, when you saw them supporting U2, was that at the Rose Bowl?
No, when they supported U2, it was that portion of the tour for U2 was indoor stadiums.
Oh, okay.
So I saw them in like a 15,000 seat stadium indoors called the Sports Arena, which is no longer here. They tore that down, but yeah. So the only couple times I seen them outside was for the festival. For the trip to Nashville for the happening there when they were supporting Weezer, which I still don't understand and upset about. But
so which side of the fence are you on that one? Then are you pro Weezer or not so? Not so fussed about Weezer.
No, I'm not pro Weezer. Actually, I forget his name now, and that this is very embarrassing because I should know his name, but after the original bass player left, and I always make a little funny gesture about it, but once he left, I think their music changed, and someone's gonna kill me. I know when they see this because I forgot his name. It's Matt something. He was the original bass player and I think it was very influential with their original sound.
Okay.
So when he left the band, I think things did change, and I wasn't really much of a fan after that.
Mm-hmm. They were popular here for a little while, but you don't really hear from them in the UK anymore. So they did have a bit of success, but
they're a cover band now, aren't they? Or
I'm not getting involved in this conversation.
Oh, come on, Andrew.
I don't have any of their albums, and I can't see me buying any of them. But so much like Blur and Vampire Weekend. So.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Idols, I've just added to my list as well. So that's probably a little bit controversial.
See, I agree with you there. I always get that too. I'm hesitant because there's a core group of Idol fans within the group.
There are.
I kind of just stay away.
Yeah, I posted about it just before I came on air with you tonight. So I'm probably getting a little bit of stick on Facebook tonight. So
you'll get a thumbs up. You'll get a thumbs up from me.
Thank you. You're a good man. You got to mix these things up a little bit, haven't you, from time to time?
You do. You got to, or else it gets stagnant. You got to
keeps the conversations going.
There you go.
So happenings. You've spoken about happenings.
Yes.
So you went to Nashville.
I've been to Nashville. That was great. I went to the Vegas, the first one, and that probably is the best Pixies show I've been to.
Was that the one Pixie White came over for?
Oh yes, Pixie White. I met and her husband Ant.
Yeah.
I think I met the majority of the people, not majority, but at the time there was like 50 of us. I think that were there.
It was a big gathering.
I roomed with we did a house with Meg and Micah and Dusty and Susanna, his girlfriend. So we all stayed in one house, and it was so much fun. And what made the best, of course, is the company.
Sure.
And for us to be all there dressed in our group T-shirts right up front was just truly remarkable. Truly, and you felt that with the UK happenings. I'm sure you did. Yeah. And it's like I found my people, I found my tribe, and here we are, enjoying it. So that's probably one of the best shows I've been to overall.
Where did the idea of, I believe you have a podcast, I've heard something about it.
Yeah, have you heard about that?
It's something
really easy to click on a link there,
is
Andrew.
It? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it easy enough to
I'll
find?
Send it to you.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, very. If you have iTunes.
You do that. I've been searching, but I can't find it anywhere on the web. So
I'll send you a direct link right there.
Thank you. So who came up with that idea then?
That was our friend Dusty Starr.
Okay.
And he actually he had came to me. I met another friend of his, and he was thinking about doing just an overall music podcast. And he knew my radio background, and I go, yeah, let's do it. That sounds like fun to me because I love to talk about music, you know. So it was his idea, and then his friend kind of was about it towards the middle of our planning, and then that's when we met Mr. Kimball. And we asked him if he would be interested. And he was like, oh, yeah. So we had a meeting one night in a Mexican restaurant here in Los Angeles. And we talked it over some flaming margaritas. So whenever you visit LA, I'm going to get you one of those. You'll enjoy it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. And we plotted it out and we started the podcast. And it was a little rough at the beginning, but we didn't expect anything.
No.
We didn't. We just tried to be as professional as we could.
Yeah.
But at the same time, very loose, and we wanted to do it that way. But we want to just talk about the Pixies, and it's been going on for over 2 years. So that's been a major blessing because, everyone goes through personal hardships or crisis, and at the time I was, and it was an outlet for me.
Sure.
It was a perfect outlet for me.
Yeah.
And so that's it's been a blessing for sure. But I really enjoy it. The guys are amazing to work with. So yeah.
Of course, we've borrowed Kimball for the time being. Now he's over here, so you're still going to be able to do them.
That's okay. That was really worth it. That was worth it.
You still going to be able to do them though, although he's overseas.
Yeah. As we're doing this, technology
Sure.
at its finest. So yeah.
And I believe I'm having a chat with you at some stage quite soon. So
yes,
the three of us. You can all lay into me. I'm sure you will do. So.
That should be very fun.
Well, I've already spoken to Kimball. Now I've spoken to you. I've not spoken to Dusty yet. So
okay, you'll get there.
So that'll be fun. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So.
It'll be kind of smoky, but you'll be fun.
Okay, so a couple of happenings, and you've met some lovely people, and of course we had Beneath the Eyrie came out last year in the fall, as you say, in the autumn. And did you see them on that tour, the band?
No, I did not. I missed a lot. What I really was gutted about was missing the Surfer Rosa anniversary, the little tour they had.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out budget and life wise, but
sure.
I missed those shows, and I did not see any of the. I don't even know if they actually came out here. Maybe they did. I don't recall.
Okay.
With that tour, I think they were playing a lot of. Maybe they did, but only on the East Coast. I forget. You may have to correct me on that, but I never got to see those songs played live, unfortunately. But I was very excited about the album. I liked the podcast they did leading up to it. I think that hyped it up a lot. And when it came out, it was just, you can tell the full maturity of the whole band as a one unit together. Hector was there first.
Yeah.
You can tell it was a little rougher on the edges about them finding a way, especially Paz, finding her place in the band. Well, this album, I think she has, and you can hear it.
Yeah,
she was very influential in the writing and of the songs, and she even sings on a couple. So,
well, they released a new single here yesterday. So,
yes, they did.
She's on lead
I enjoyed
vocals.
it. I enjoyed it. It's good.
Yeah.
A funny thing, when they came out with the demos, to be honest, I enjoyed those a lot more.
Okay.
And I think it was more straightforward. It was more honest in his lyrics, although he was going through a tough time at that time too. He was going through his own divorce. And, as you know, in the history of rock, breakups always lead to great lyrics. You start writing about your feelings, and stuff just comes out, right? And so the last two, the demos and Beneath the Area, were a product of that, I believe.
Yeah. So you're happy with the way that the band's going, then, you think, musically, and you're happy with the new single?
I mean, to be honest, as long as they're going, I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be putting out the worst stuff out there, but I'm going to go see them. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to buy it.
I've always sort of taken that view, even their worst stuff, which I don't know what that is, but it's still better. It's still better than the majority of anything else that's released.
There you go. Exactly. And that's how I feel. I mean, I'm never going to be unhappy with them. Like I said, their sound has always been unique to me, and Frank's writing has only gotten better, and that's appreciative. I'm just, so many bands have come back to tour, and one of the bands that we both like, Buffalo Tom, they came back. They did a new album. Ride came back and did an album. The last two albums have been amazing. So I'm just grateful for these bands that maybe ended too soon, like the Pixies, are coming back and are even stronger, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. So you think they've got a good future ahead of them?
I believe they do. I don't think their bass player wants to go anywhere or go on her own.
Well, she's a bit younger. She's a bit younger than the other three, though, isn't she?
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. You need that girl dynamic in the Pixies.
Yeah.
And I think she's filled it pretty well.
Oh yeah, good that she's younger than them. I think so she can keep them young.
There you go. Keep them going.
So what else do you like to listen to then? You've spoken about U2. I know you're a big U2 fan, Buffalo Tom and Ride, and what else do you listen to at the minute?
You'll find in my collection The Clash, REM, New Order, Joy Division.
Oh, this is all good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
Big English influence then. A lot of your music.
Joe Kirkman always kids with me that, are you sure you were born in the United States and not in England? Because all the bands you like are out of England. Any shoegaze band, My Bloody Valentine, Swerve Driver, all those bands. Then you're going to bands like Ned's Atomic Dustbin and the Wonder Stuff. I'm all over the place, Andrew. So,
of course, first time I saw Pixies, I saw Wonder Stuff the same day at Glastonbury Festival in '89. So,
see, that's what I envy is those wedding festivals were amazing. The lineups they had back in the day.
Yeah, they used to be. Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore. I'm very, very disappointed in what I see.
No, I think we're just getting old, mate. That's all it is, I think.
That's okay. We're young at heart, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, brilliant. Okay. Well, we've come to my final question.
Okay.
Which, if you've been listening, watching any of these Pixiecasts, you'll know what it is. I don't know why I'm reaching for my phone because I've asked it so many times now. I know. I pretty much know the format. It's Joe Kirkman came up with it, and goes something along these lines. You're having one of those dreams where suddenly you find yourself on stage naked in front of thousands of fans. Which Pixies song are you going to sing?
That's happened several times, actually. Let's see. I'm going to add something to this because I want it to be Tony's theme.
Okay.
But I'll be wearing a cape.
That's cheating.
Oh, come on.
That's cheating. No.
He's a superhero, though. Come on.
No, they want to see you in all your glory, Hector.
All right. Well, maybe someone could come out and give me the cape after to get me off the stage. I hope someone does. Really.
Someone can run on. Someone can run on at the end.
I'll take volunteers.
Okay. So choose one last track for me then, because I don't think you're going to go for a Catholics track, are you, or are you?
I do enjoy the Catholics, actually. Pistolero was my favorite from them. Mm-hmm. So I think I enjoy I Switched You.
I Switched You.
Yeah, I Switched You.
Okay. Lovely.
Listen to that one too. Take a listen.
I will do.
Like it. I think we have the same taste, so I think you'll enjoy both those tracks I picked.
Brilliant. Okay, mate. It's been great to spend some time with you. Nice to meet you finally. And
same here.
If ever I get over your way to LA, you can buy me that drink, and we'll talk.
You got it. And I'll head your way too. That's one of the things I really want to do is make a UK Ireland trip. So I'll definitely be out there when we can.
You'll be very welcome. There's always a room for you here as well. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Good
to see you,
Andrew,
mate.
Same here. Take care of yourself. Cheers. Bye.